Have you ever heard of Core Essentials? No, I hadn't either, not until recently when they emailed me to say we've just launched our first two watches and we'd love to send you one to see what you think of it. And we've got a patent pending for a brand new sort of ratcheting system on our straps, which is pretty cool. So we'd like to get your thoughts on that as well. If you're not familiar with Core Essentials, they sell, well, lots of stuff. I've got their website up in front of me. They sell predominantly belts. Belts for guns, but also just your sort of standard belts. It all seems to be pretty good stuff, but they sell lots of other stuff as well, like clothing, hats, wallets, watches, sunglasses, belts, accessories, blades, backpacks, tools, and yeah, obviously I'm going to be more interested in the watches. And they've launched a sort of standard dive watch and a chrono diver, and as you can see, they've got some additional straps to go with them, and one of them looks like it's for a smartwatch. So yeah, I've got the watch. Well, in fact, it's here. I don't know what's up with Frank at the moment. I think he's a bit irritated because I brought him into work on the weekend. I think that's aimed at me, by the way. But anyway, yeah, in this video, I'm going to head over to the Lightbox now and yeah, show you this watch and their patent pending ratcheting strap system thing. Now, straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you this feels and looks like a manly man's watch. So yeah, you're probably wondering, why did they send it to you, Gary, to review? I was wondering that myself. But anyway, yeah, it's sort of dark and stealthy looking. It's quite big and heavy and chunky, strong sort of military vibes, and yeah, plenty of adjustment in the strap, but yeah, because of the size and weight of it, I'm going to say it's probably going to be more suited to average up to larger than average sized wrists. But yeah, I mean, it's yeah, an interesting looking watch, isn't it? The packaging's pretty cool as well. Comes in a sort of plastic ammo case, very well protected. A few pamphlets promoting all the other stuff that they sell. But yeah, first things first, we need to run through some specifications. So, as I've already mentioned, this is a 300-meter chronograph dive style watch. And yeah, I don't think it's an ISO 6425 certified diver. I don't think the Lume is good enough. I have checked the Lume out already, and I'll put the video of the Lume degradation sort of clips at the end of this review. But yeah, it is a 300-meter dive style watch, stainless steel case back, stainless steel case, everything's stainless steel, obviously, apart from the strap. The buckle on the strap doesn't feel like stainless steel, but it feels fairly durable. I'll show you the ratcheting on the fly adjustment system in a moment. But yeah, it does have a unidirectional rotating diver's bezel, and actually the clicks are quite nice and crisp. Have a listen. Quite high pitched. I like them. Yeah. Let's check out the alignment. Plenty of grip on this bezel as well, and there is a coating on the case and the bezel and the pushes and the crown as well. All right, let's just get this bezel realigned. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? On the dial, you have a running seconds hand and a minutes for the chronograph. And these pushes do have these sort of locking screw down elements because this is, well, a 300-meter diver. I wouldn't recommend pressing the buttons when the watch is submerged. But let's get the chronograph going. There we go. As you can see, it is a quartz movement inside a Swiss-made quartz movement. And the second hand is hitting those markers perfectly. Yeah, which is great news. And the second hand on the running seconds subdial at the 3 o'clock is also hitting the markers nicely. Awesome. Let's stop that and reset. And there it is, back up at the 12. Now, I've said it's big and chunky. I should probably show you how big and chunky. 44 millimeters in diameter, 13.1 millimeters thick. That's not too thick, actually. Case length is just over 50, and the lug width is 24 millimeters. Right, before I weigh it, let's test the crystal. Yep, sapphire crystal, nice. And the weight of the watch on this strap is 134 grams, which actually isn't that heavy. In fact, that's quite light for a 300-meter diver, but obviously most of the weight is in the case. So it might feel a little bit top heavy. I'll, yeah, pop it back on the wrist and let you know shortly. And here's the case back, very nicely finished. Core Eclipse. Eclipse is the name of the watch. Swiss movement, sapphire glass, stainless steel, 30 ATM. And it does have a helium escape valve on the side there, look. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but there it is. And while we're under here, we can have a quick look at the strap. Quick release spring bars. You can see all of the levels of adjustment for the strap. And I'll show you how this works now, actually. You just pop it through there, and it's a sort of spring-loaded latch. And you'll see this front bit sort of popping up as it's working its way up the strap. And if you want to let it out a little bit, you just pull that out. And yeah, so it is a sort of on-the-fly adjustment system. It's spring-loaded. If I show you this element here, yeah, you can see it working there. Look, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Very simple. Why has no one ever done that before? Now, the supplied strap is, well, very black, isn't it? It looks very dark and fairly simple and plain. You've got these sort of flexible elements near the case. I mean, it looks sort of pre-formed. I'm not sure if that's intentional. Obviously, this was wrapped around a watch cushion while it's been sat in this case, and so that may have just happened naturally because, well, the second strap that they've sent me is perfectly straight, and I think it's a slightly different colour as well. It looks more grey than black. Same ratcheting system, a little bit of detail on the outside. Yeah, it's nice actually. Very soft and malleable. A little bit sticky actually, and yeah, I'll show you what I mean when I put the watch on shortly. Right, I've zoomed in so we can have a closer look at the dial and the case finishing. It is very stealthy, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, it's not the most legible watch, but then with it being a sort of military-inspired tactical watch, you wouldn't want a really shiny, blingy thing with lots of contrasting colours on your wrist, would you? So it's intentionally stealthy and yeah, I mean, it's clear enough to read, isn't it? There is some contrasting colour on the hands and, well, on the hands in the subdials as well. Clips 300M above the 6, core with the core logo for the 12 o'clock index. Now, the Lume isn't filled into the applied indices. That is not the Lume. The Lume is those very small rectangles on the chapter ring. So yeah, I'll show you the Lume in a moment. Yeah, but it looks nicely done. The steel finishing looks good, although it is obviously coated, so it's not particularly easy to see. It never is when it has coatings on it, but fully brushed, again, you're not going to get any high polished surfaces on this watch. And the bezel insert looks to be ceramic, and again, a very stealthy look to it. Lots and lots of grip. As you can see, the outside of the bezel is, yeah, sort of very, what's the word, aggressively machined. So plenty of grip on the crown and the pushers as well. So yeah, it seems like a lot of thought and consideration has gone into the design of this watch. Right, let's pop the watch on my wrist and show you this patented buckle in action. Yeah, nice and easy to use. You just keep pulling until you get the required fit. Putting the tail through the retainers can be a little bit fiddly at times just because it's rubber on rubber and it's quite a sticky material. But there it is. And as you can see, it's, oh, I mean, I've got an average sized wrist. It's quite big on my wrist, but like I said, it's a man's watch. Yeah, so yeah, you wouldn't want it any smaller, would you? And looking at the guys on their website that are that's modeling their stuff, I suspect it would look small on their wrists. But anyway, very cool clasp, I've got to say. Credit to them for producing something unique and individual. That doesn't happen too often these days, does it? Very cool. And there it is on the second strap they sent me. And actually, I do prefer this strap. It was, well, it just feels like a slightly different material, actually. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just that that detail on the outside is changing the thickness of the strap. And so maybe it feels a little bit different. But I like the additional detail on the outside of that strap. And I do think it is a slightly different colour as well. So yeah, this second strap that they've sent me is, well, probably my favourite out of the two. Yeah, very cool. Right, it's time to test the Lume. Now, I'm not expecting this watch to perform particularly well, actually, when it comes to the Lume. And I think that might actually be a little bit intentional. Again, this is a sort of tactical, military-inspired watch. And just imagine if you had an incredible Lume display on your watch, that would give away your position, well, almost immediately, wouldn't it? So I think the Lume on this watch is intentionally stealthy. But anyway, I'm still going to perform my 5-minute Lume degradation test and, yeah, see how it does. Right, that's now been 5 minutes, and yeah, as we suspected, the Lume hasn't lasted particularly well. But yeah, given this is supposed to be a fairly stealthy 300-meter diver chrono, I guess, yeah, we can forgive them. And before I wrap it up, I thought I'd take the rather chunky case back off to show you the movement. And yeah, it is a rather substantial case back, I've got to say. So yeah, there is the movement. A Ronda 5021 Swiss quartz movement, jeweled as well. Look, you've got some of those jewels in there. So this won't be a $2 quartz movement. This will be a decent quartz movement, which is yeah, good to know. Right, guys, that is the Core Eclipse Diver Chrono, a 300-meter sort of all-purpose military tactical inspired watch. Not one for the faint-hearted. Just short of $400. They seem to have these pop-ups on their website as well. If you sign up to their newsletter, you'll get 10% off, I think. So yeah, no discount code or anything like that. No affiliate links, I'm afraid, guys. Although the watch was sent to me for free to show you guys, I'm afraid I can't help you when it comes to the price. So yeah, definitely something a little bit different in today's video, isn't it? And I am quite impressed by this new ratcheting clasp. I always appreciate it when brands try to develop something new and individual and unique, and yeah, you have to give them plenty of credit for that. Right, guys, as always, a massive thank you from me to you for tuning in. I do really appreciate it. Please don't forget to comment. I'm sure they'd love some feedback on this watch as well. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, guys.